Hello? Oh, okay. Instead of the usual litany of piano pieces, I was woken up by a sharp tingling pain coming from my left hand. I gasped in pain and grabbed at it before realizing that it no longer existed. Disoriented, I curled up on the mattress and tried my best to deal with the pain. It stabbed at my missing hand with a malicious glee. It didn't take long for sweat to start soaking through my clothes. Yikes. Metal Gear. By the time the pain finished toying with me, I was so exhausted that I almost went straight back to sleep. But then I realized that the house was entirely silent. No piano playing, no sound of Osgood moving around the house. Nothing. A small surge of panic began to bubble up. Without him bringing you food, you'll starve. There's no way you are going to break the chains in time. By the time they find you years later, you'll be a skeleton in a filthy dress, so hungry before you died that you tried to eat your remaining. I yanked my hair with my remaining hand. The pain helped momentarily cool my mind. In the corner of my eye, I saw 3 boxes that weren't there before. Opening them revealed food, a box full of apples, a box full of carrots, and a box full of instant ramen. Nestled in the middle of the apple was a white sheet of ruled paper. I'll be back soon. I crumbled the paper up and threw it into a corner. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Let's do some sit-ups. Poop sale, 50% off. We selling poop. You know, judging from my past experience with rats, I don't think I want any. Thank you, though. Ain't that some shit? Take a shower. Yeah, I just did some sit-ups, so I'm gonna take a shower. Because I'm stanky. Let's sharpen the piece of glass, I guess. Now let's try to sleep. Hold on. Discriminated against yet again. Sorry. Well, to be fair though, in the last game I was playing earlier this week, some rats did attack me. So I feel justified. Alright, let's do some more sit-ups. Let's take a shower. Let's sharpen the piece of glass. And sleep. And do it all over again. Yep, sit-ups. Shower. Glass. Sleep. Still no classical music. How long has it been since? No, never mind. I have to keep myself busy. What happened to our boxes of books and stuff? Can't we do that too? Do some sit-ups, I guess. Take a shower. Sharpen the glass. That glass must be really sharp by now. Try to sleep. Do some sit-ups. Take a shower. Sharpen the glass. And try to sleep. Oh my god. Alright, let's keep going, guys. Jesus. Take a shower. I never knew that silence could be so oppressive. Really, what's the point? Why are you still doing these useless things and trying to act like everything will be fine? It is all useless, you know, and it's all your fault. Really, how desperate do you have to be in order to break into a house of a literal monster, and how stupid do you have to be to actually believe that you could charm your way out of this mess and admit it? You never did. You are a terrible friend and a terrible daughter. You are so selfish that you can't actually love anyone, but you wanted to be loved. Just accept the fact that you were going to oh my god, it scared me. Before before my brain could finish its latest destructive thought, I banged it on the wall hard. Oh, yikes. How did it come to this? When will Osgood come back to play the piano? Only half of my food is gone, yet I am already convinced that I will probably starve to death here. At first, my reaction was to throw myself at the chains, banging it against the hard bathroom floor for as long as my body would sustain me. Once my body is spent, I fell into yet another spiral of self-loathing and despair, kicking food all over the place, tugging at my hair, screaming and whatnot. But now that I accepted my death, or that my death was most likely imminent, I felt a strange sense of calm. The calmness of a dead fish washed up on the sand on a very gray afternoon. And the worst part? I don't even have any last words to impart to anyone. Here lies Camille Dubois, a girl who lived her life frivolously. She was known for chasing after cold guys and being a pretty self-centered twat. She left behind absolutely nothing of value and will be remembered by no one. Because if she actually mattered, then someone would have come to her save her already. Oh, damn. God, if you do exist, I promise I'll try to be a better person if I survive. And if I am destined to die, I hope you can make me into a better person in my next life. Oh. Someone who is kinder, more committed, more caring, and more... Oh! Is it really? I stared at the door dumbly for a second more before unadulterated joy washed over me. I got up and rushed towards the door. Dumping the body bag on the ground, he started picking up the apples, carrots, and instant noodles scattered on the floor, arranging them into a neat stack before placing them back into the box and facing me again. I'm back. I can see that. Don't look at the bag. Don't look at the bag.
That's good. That you are back.
You are afraid.
Me? Afraid? Of course not. It's not like you were going to eat another one of my hands.
My false bravado was not fooling anyone. The body bag was still there, and my missing hand had started to act up again. I had been doing a lot of thinking when I was out procuring food, and the conclusion I came to was that we started off on the wrong foot. We weren't honest with each other. You think? Even now, you don't find it comfortable to tell me how you really feel. Yeah, obviously. But it's not too late to fix our relationship. What? Our relationship, sir. What do you think our relationship is? Relationship? Exactly. What relationship? Osgood said, I mean, there is a relationship. It just may not be what he thinks it is. Osgood suddenly reached out a hand toward me. His fingers stopped inches away from my face before he dropped his hand back to his side. There was blood under his nails. Ooh, yikes. I'm not going to let you go. I'm already breaking the rules by letting you live. He took a deep breath and shoved his hands into his pockets. I wonder if the inside of his pants will get stained. But there are certain exceptions. When he took his hand out, there was a tacky ring with a plastic rose on the top. Oh, God. Oh, God. This is him. Oh, this is what I think it is, isn't it? Oh, dear. Oh, man. How are you, how? You ate one of our hands. Hopefully it wasn't the left hand. Wait, no. The red petals looked especially cheap against the blood. I wanted to get you a more fitting ring, but I don't have a lot of money right now, so this will have to do. Sir, what do you think you're doing? The sweet cloying smell was there again. Wimmy! Hey. So yeah, while you're here, just a fair warning, this game has a lot of trigger warnings, so if it's got gore and sexual themes and dubious consent, so if you have to go, I understand. Just wanted to warn you. Yeah, of course. Okay. Trying to pretend none of this is happening, I covered my nose with my remaining hand and took several steps back. Buddy grabbed my hand and leaned in. The familiar scent of candy and wine invaded my consciousness. I can't change what I am and what I eat, but I should have gotten over myself and taken care of things earlier. He pointed to the body bag in the corner. I have already stocked up on food for the next month. It won't happen again. He peeled off my hand from my mouth and tried to put the ring on my ring finger, but the ring kept sliding off my finger and he had to settle on my thumb. Jesus Christ. Dude. Sir, I don't think this is working. This should be a sign. You should take this as a sign. Blood was smeared everywhere. Oh God. Okay. Sir? Yeah. I was too nauseous to do anything, so I just let him do what he wanted. As you must have figured out by now, I don't have much experience with romance in general, so I apologize if I'm doing this wrong. Everything has been less than ideal. I really do wish I had more resources on hand, but with time and effort, we can make it work. I spaced out. Hello? Oh, yes. Hi, Snow. Welcome back. By the time we can make an effort, we can make it work. A meal? Yeah. That was to be expected. Whoa. This looks different. Have we been moved? How are you feeling? I ignored him and looked down at my remaining hand, the garish ring with the red rose perched on my thumb like a poisonous spider. Do you not like the ring? This isn't really a matter of whether I like the ring or not. I removed the ring with my teeth and dropped it in my palm. I can't accept this. Take it back. And yet you return it to me dripping with your saliva. What the what are you getting from that? Please, tell me. You are truly a master of mixed signals. How is that a mixed signal? Okay. Alright. Calm. Something snapped within me and I hurled the ring at his face. Yeah, that's understandable, that's fair. He dodged and the ring bounced once on the floor before disappearing into the darkness. You can either let me go or kill me. I don't care which anymore. But I refuse to play along with this. I was forced to stop to catch my breath. Since when did I get this weak? I thought you liked me. You can't be serious. But you were cheerful and talkative to me even after I brought you there. The confusion in his voice grated on my nerves. You are the person who decides whether I eat or starve, whether I live or die. Of course I have to be nice to you. And to be nice to you for days on end, I have to convince myself to like you. But now, I'm tired.
I can't keep this up anymore. So really, do whatever.
I turned away from him. Do you actually mean what you said? Oh God, I think it's, okay, this is another, part where I think there's, there should be a trigger warning. Just another warning. Warn you guys. Take care of yourself. Before I could even open my eyes, I felt the bed sink and found Osgood's body hovering over mine as he pinned my arms to the bed. Dear Lord. No. The smell of candy and wine enveloped me, and I tried my hardest not to breathe.
What are you doing?
To my horror, he got even closer until our noses were almost touching. Why are you looking at me like that? You are the one who said I could do whatever I want. I spat in his face. He blinked, but otherwise did nothing. Oh, hell no. Yeah. The expression he wore was that of a long-suffering parent dealing stoically with an unreasonable toddler. Bruh. Furious beyond reason, I started struggling violently against him, writhing, kicking and screaming directly into his face. It felt like kicking stone, and I soon wore myself out. I will repeat this again. Do you really want me to do whatever I want?
Are you toying with me?
No. But we do need better communication than this. So tell me, Camille, what do you want? I don't want this to be another mixed signal, so I don't know how he might take that, so I think I should just say, get off of me. Get off me! I literally shrieked the words into his face, but he seemed satisfied and released me from his grasp, leaving me sweating and shaking. That wasn't so hard, was it?
Bruh! Bro, what the fuck?
Why is he trapped there? Okay, so you know how we went up to his house to bring him his notebook? So the door opened for us, and he wasn't there after we barged in. I mean, we selected barged in, but it described it as we had went to go knock, but the door just opened by itself. Anyway, point is, we found a guy with missing limbs, and we realized that Osgood is fucking crazy. So we tried to run away, but in our attempt to escape, one of our alarms went off and blew our cover. He captured us, and yeah, and then he locked us up in the room. And now we're locked in a different room, I'm assuming. But yeah. Anyway, he had been threatening to kill us this whole time until now. Why is he trying to? Yeah. Yeah, so that's why we're trapped here. He pointed at the plate of food sitting on the nightstand. It looked and smelled like chicken soup. You should eat it before it gets cold. Please, just leave me alone. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? What? Answer the question and I'll leave. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
Anyone that's not you.
I see. Why am I still alive? There we go again. Did you sleep well? He sighed before setting the food before me. It was fried rice. Green scallions minced and sprinkled with fried eggs and chopped up sausage. I picked up the food for a second before setting it down again. Or plate, I don't know.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you want to eat me or have sex with me, or is it both?
That's a very valid question. The air of the room suddenly gained physical weight, making it hard for the two of us to breathe. Osgood closed his eyes like he was bracing for impact. I am not going to eat you.
So, sex then. Taking playing with food to a whole new level, aren't you?
Yeesh. Either way, he's gonna be like, Jesus Christ. Floors. I don't plan on sleeping with you again. Okay. So,
I'm some sort of glorified pet.
I sidled up, I think. I don't remember how to say that. Up to him, pressing my chest against his and snaking a hand into his hair.
Look at her trying to struggle. So adorable. How very sweet.
My voice was dripping with acrimony, but Osgood didn't say anything to my provocation. My hand was now at the back of his neck, and I could feel his neck stiffen, but he didn't move away. Suddenly feeling deflated, I detached myself from him and sat back on the bed, mechanically moving food into my mouth. The last bite of fried rice had disappeared into my mouth when a list of questions appeared in front of my eyes. What could constitute a perfect day for you? Name 3 things you and the other person appear to have in common. For what in your life do you feel most grateful?
What is this?
It's a list of questions that we are both going to answer to get to know each other better. I grabbed the list from his hand and threw it behind me.
These questions are lame. I have a better question. How did I taste when you finally took a bite of me?
Okay. I guess we're doing this now.
Don't want to talk about it? I'll ask another one then. How did you find your other food? How did it feel to...
Terrible. It felt terrible. The words came out of his mouth in a monotonous stream, flat and hollow as they spilled onto the ground like a leaky pipe. Milton had been gone for months, and our provider had stopped delivering food. Bancroft was the one who was in charge of negotiating with them, and he had been missing since January. Milton told me to go and take care of food myself. Find some random homeless man in another city or town at night and eat him. I didn't want to, but my hunger got to the point where I actively fantasized about eating the people around me. I don't know how many times I dreamed about tearing a chunk off of you in broad daylight. The dead man I showed you when you first came here, I didn't kill him. He bashed his head against the dining room table when I wasn't looking. Oh. Oh boy. Then there's you. I originally made up my mind to eat you. It would have been something Milton and Bancroft would have done. But at some point I lost track of my purpose. At first I told myself I didn't need to eat right now. Then I became convinced that I didn't need to eat at all. It was only when I ate your hand that I realized how wrong I was. I was still hungry. I still needed to eat. I just didn't want to eat you.
Can you just let me go? Please?
No.
Then why did you tell me all of this? So I can feel grateful for you? Sparing my life?
No.
Then for what?
Name one thing you and I appear to have in common. Okay. This is interesting. I don't know if it matters which one we pick at this point, but I don't want to say that because, I mean, there is something wrong with him, but you don't... When is that ever a smart thing to say to someone, especially if someone is actually out of their mind? I don't want to talk about these stupid questions. I'll wait until you are ready to answer. Oh, hold on. We both need help. But help isn't coming. So we have to make do with what we have now. Tears started streaming down my cheeks and I buried my face into the pillow. I could feel him moving towards me.
I hate you.
The sound of his movement stopped.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
I continued to repeat those words until they lost their meaning and became a jumble of syllables and vowels, each one a sharp glass shard to prevent him from getting any closer. Eventually, I fell asleep because of exhaustion. The last thing I noticed was the scent of candy and wine. Oh man, is he drugging us again? With his saliva or something? Yeah, I'm gonna guess his saliva is some sort of like drug to humans. For the next couple of days, we fell into a routine. Every day, he would come into my room and make the most excruciatingly awkward small talk imaginable. Same. Sometimes he would bring gifts. He's like a cat. How I responded depended on my mood. I got you some chocolate. I don't want to do that. It's a waste of perfectly good chocolate. Refuse to take them. Places a bouquet of newspaper roses beside your bed. I don't want them. Would you like to? Get out. I don't know. She's clearly pissed, so I feel like this is the most accurate, like, representation or roleplay option. The sane part of me knew that I was acting incredibly reckless by actively provoking someone who could snap me like a twig, yet I couldn't stop myself. There was a thrill in the self-destruction. Oh dear. An adrenaline rush that comes from leaping into the abyss without care. But the biggest reason was to see just how much Osgood could take before he finally lost it. And when he finally cracks, we can eventually end this once and for all. But no matter what I do, he stands there and takes it. If I throw something at him, he'll dodge it and pick it up. If I insult him, he'll ignore it. If I refuse to answer a question or eat, he'll repeat his request over and over again until I gave it in out of frustration. And every day, when I wake up, he'll be there, asking the pointless questions and giving me useless things. His dogged persistence sometimes tortured me more than the prospect of being eaten alive. All's good. Once upon a time, in a mansion far, far away, there lived 3 pale monsters. Okay, I guess we're getting his backstory now. The oldest monster was shrewd. He masked himself in the finest human garbs and learned how to wield the power of gold. His food was consumed between sips of wine and curt replies to business partners. The second monster was charismatic. He disguised himself with human mannerisms and... Excuse me. Himself with human mannerism and learned how to wield the power of words and violence. His food was consumed alive with whispers of sweet nothings. Oh. I don't like that. The youngest monster was obedient. He followed the rules set by his brother and was shielded from the outside world. His food was consumed alone in the dining room, waiting for his family to come home. But one day, an intruder appeared. The second monster. Where did your scars come from? I fell. And I suppose your fall had you tumble all the way to the garden while sneaking away bits of meat. Are you a masochist or something? You know dogs hate our kind. You'd be better off trying to charm one of them dewy-eyed village girls. Sunshine's already not biting as much as it did in the beginning. And you already named it. How are you going to tell Bancroft? Oh. Wait, I just remembered this game has a warning against animal cruelty, so, or for animal cruelty, so just another trigger warning, guys. Alright. How are you going to tell Bancroft? You know how paranoid he is about everything. He will freak out if he sees the scars on your fingers. Can you help me keep it a secret from him? How about this? I'll keep your secret for 2 months. After 2 months, bring the dog out and do a little demonstration that it won't attack you. Want a little tip? Whenever the dog bites you, beat the living hell out of it. Oh. Yikes. Okay. There it is, I guess. Whenever it submits, give it a reward. Show it who's the boss, and you should have it behaving in no time. The youngest monster found the advice cruel, but his brother was seldom wrong. So he trusted his brother and did what he was told. Whenever Sunshine barked at the youngest monster would strike it across the nose. Whenever Sunshine obeyed, he would feed it. At first it took 5 strikes a day. Then the frequency was down to every other day. By the end of the month, Sunshine had stopped biting entirely. 6 weeks later, it no longer trembled in the youngest monster's presence. When the youngest monster pressed his face into Sunshine's stomach, he wept. What? But one day... Oh. 7 years. Look, I'm sorry. I'll get you a properly trained dog next week. Would you like a husky or maybe a Dalmatian? No, I don't need any more dogs. I need to go practice piano right now. Oh, no, it's just... The last memory the youngest monster has of Sunshine was scraping her bloody remains off the pristine white floor. Jesus Christ. Okay. I blinked several times until I realized that I was in the dining room. Osgood was sitting 3 chairs away from me, turning something over and over in his hand. You're up. He slipped whatever he was playing with into his pocket and gestured vaguely to himself. I have prepared a present for you. Another present? What is it this time? My lack of enthusiasm must have been apparent even in the dim light, for he sighed heavily. Don't worry, this time it will be different. His shadow completely engulfed me. I should be terrified, but I found myself too exhausted to care.
Are you finally going to eat me now?
Osgood ignored me and knelt down so that he was directly at my eye level, his gaze pinning me to my chair like a taxidermized butterfly. Then he closed his eyes and started shrugging out of his jacket and sweater. Can we not? For the past few days, the only times you would smile is when you destroyed my gifts. It's not happiness, but close enough. What? He stopped spinning the knife and pressed it into my hand. When I almost dropped it, his fingers encased it. Well, what are you waiting for? What the What? He's a masochist, guys. What? Without any warning, he grabbed my hand that was still holding the knife and slashed it across his chest. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. No. No. A surreal trail of bubblegum pink started oozing from his wound. The entire room smelled of sweets and alcohol. Ay. I couldn't take my eyes off the unnatural color. Osgood's hand was still on mine. Is it not enough? Again. Something wet landed on my face and on the table. Again. Stop. Hey. Let's just try to pull our hand away. I don't think this is gonna work, but I feel like yelling at him. I don't know. Why? Why are you looking distressed? Hurting me as much as possible. It's the only other thing you want besides leaving, isn't it? And it's fine. As long as you are here and alive, it's fine. So take it. Sir, please. Accept my gift. I don't want to accept your gift. Before he could slice himself again, I pushed him onto the ground and sent the chairs crashing. Are you crazy? I mean, I think we kind of figured that out by now.
You think this is going to make me happy?
And then I suppose there is really nothing I can give you. The matter-of-fact hopelessness in his voice was all too familiar. With sudden clarity, I realized that I was now Mr. Buchanan, holding all the power while Osgood lay at my feet. And he deserved it. He deserved to have me trample all over him. After all, wasn't I the poor and helpless high school girl, and he the monster that kept me captive? Doesn't he deserve to suffer for as long as he held me here? And yet, feeling exhausted, I buried my face into his chest.
I hate you so much that it hurts.
I know. After a moment of hesitation, he reached out a hand and wrapped a strand of my hair around his fingers. I let him play with my hair for 3 seconds before slapping his hand away.
Get up and do something about your wounds. I don't want you to bleed to death in front of my face.
Alright. Instead of trying to talk about the food like he always did, Osgood looked away and tugged at his collar. I let him struggle in his discomfort for a while before speaking. So I really don't feel like this is the time to be asking these kinds of questions. But I am curious. What kind of monster are you anyways? He took a step back as if to hide.
Don't look so surprised. I'm making an effort to trying to get to know you better. That's what you want, isn't it?
Uh, what the fuck? What? So are you a vampire of sorts? There's always this cloying, sweet smell around you like old lady perfume. When I kissed you, I literally got high. What was that about? These are all very solid questions. Yeah, I'm curious about the smell. So I smell like woman's perfume. I never knew. You didn't notice? It's quite strong at times. The smell is only detectable by humans. Milton says it makes hunting easier. When I kissed you, I literally got high. What was that all about? Our saliva has hallucinogenic and pain-killing properties. Oh. Okay, yeah, okay. I can see that, yeah. It can also knock you out if consumed in large enough quantities. Okay, so are you a meat vampire of sorts? That's one way to put it. I get it now. You are a human Venus flytrap. Oh no, did I hurt your feelings? You should eat your food before it gets cold. Being a Venus flytrap isn't a bad thing, you know. Much preferable to being the fly. Goodbye. Did you finish your econ homework? What? Your econ homework, the one that's due tomorrow? My eyes darted left and right, taking everything in rapidly. The ugly line of lockers. The familiar buzz of a busy hallway. My two intact hands. I'm in school now? Are you okay? Do you need me to take you to the nurse's office? She reached, placed her hand on my forehead. The coldness of her palms was soothing. You know, if you stayed away from him, he wouldn't be forced to talk this way. Or we wouldn't be forced to talk this way. Oh. What? What? She patted me on the back. I want to help you, but you are on your own now. With that, she started to walk away. Wait! Before I could catch up with her, a gush of red blood swarmed the hallways and... What the... Why are you... A sinking feeling pierced my lower abdomen and I doubled over in pain. Did you eat something bad? I smell blood. Have you never seen a girl having her period before? Oh. Okay. This isn't the time to argue. We need to stop the bleeding. No. Sweet summer child. He pulled my blanket off of me and was about to reach into my skirt before I swatted his hand away. I can take care of myself. Just get me something warm to drink. I got up from the bed and started stumbling towards the bathroom. Each step felt like I was stepping on my stomach instead of walking on the ground. Yeah. Oof. Before I could get very far, Osgood scooped me up and rushed to the bathroom. Within seconds. God, why isn't this... No, this isn't supposed to be sweet. What the fuck? No. God damn it. Within seconds, I was sitting on the toilet seat with Osgood kneeling before me. There was red on his pants, but he didn't seem to care. Besides a warm drink, is there anything else you need? Leave me alone. I find it hard to believe that a warm drink alone will stop the bleeding. Tell me what you need, or I will be forced to take actions myself. Tampons, ibuprofen, chocolate! Understood. Damn. Wincing, I started to clean myself up. I had just finished making do with whatever was available when Osgood threw open the door. To my surprise, in his arms were all the things I needed.
It hasn't even been 10 minutes. How did you buy all of this so quickly?
I looked up what a period was on the internet and found the ibuprofen and the tampons in Milton's emergency kit.
Your brother has tampons in his emergency kit?
Is that a bad thing?
Never mind. And thanks for getting everything.
Do you want to kiss? Osgood, this is not the time to be horny. Come on, man.
I'm in pain and you ask me if I want to kiss?
Osgood sighed and pointed to his mouth. Pain-killing properties. Oh, yeah. It's true. I can give it to you in a bottle as well. Whatever works for you. That's kind of gross. Wait, oh, I just realized we drank a whole fucking bottle of his saliva. That's just gross. Ew. I was about to reject him when another wave of pain coursed through my body. Yeah, I would take it. Guess the ibuprofen isn't working fast enough. I don't know, guys. I feel like he wants us to kiss him, but, and not just like for selfish reasons. I think he wants to actually help, but here's the big but. I definitely don't want to take another bottle of his spit. Jesus Christ. But let's see. I don't want to refuse him, though. He's been helpful. Maybe I should just let him help more. A little bit. I mean, what's the harm, really? I guess. As long as he has his own food, right? He won't lose control of his time. But that's assuming that he's been taking care of himself as much as he's been taking care of us. Yikes. Okay. Did I already save? Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. We're in an Atome game. Let's kiss him. Let's kiss the freak. It doesn't have to mean anything. Besides, I've already seen him naked. A kiss for medicinal purposes is hardly going to faze me.
Get down. You're too tall and I don't want to stand up.
The music is making me feel like I made a poor choice. Which, yeah, I can accept that. After a pause, he knelt down in front of me. 2 pale blue glass shards stared straight at me, remote, unblinking, and clean.
Don't move. And open your mouth.
His posture became stiff as I reached over a hand to cover his eyes. His eyelashes fluttered against my palm as I moved my mouth over his. It was the same taste of fever dreams. The taste of cotton candy. The taste of waiting for a popsicle to melt in your mouth on a lazy summer day. Except popsicles weren't warm. I reached a hand to the back of his neck and forcibly tugged his hair away from my face. Osgood's muscles tensed but didn't move. His mouth hanged slightly open and his lips were moist with saliva. What's wrong with me? Do you want me to carry you back? Yikes. Okay. Oh, alright, now I feel weird. A little uncomfy now. Ah, jeez, why did I pick that? Oh, God. Alright, let's go all the way, guys. Yes. Carry me. Carry me like the princess I am.
I'm feeling okay now. Thanks.
Don't you have to practice the piano or something? Or is it random question time again? You aren't going to bleed to death, are you? Would I be talking to you if I were bleeding to death? Right. Ever since that day, Osgood started fretting excessively over my health. Oh boy. Oh no, he's turned into full husbando mode. You might catch a cold if you walk around on bare feet. Please wear socks.
I don't want to. Who wears socks during summer?
I'll get a carpet then. But, to be fair, he's being very oddly reasonable for you know, all of this. That's a lot of vegetables. I read that's having a balanced diet is important for humans in general. It's best to eat a variety of different colored food.
I can't finish all of this.
That's fine. Just eat a bit of each. Are you warm enough? Are you still in pain? Are you eating enough? Are you okay? Oh my god. Okay, from the moment I wake up to the moment I close my eyes, I am assaulted by the most tedious form of care and attention that I had ever experienced. No matter how ill-tempered and annoyed I get, he will always come back with more awkward fretting. And to be fair, I feel like he's giving her exactly what she always wanted, which was attention and affection. And in a way that's, I mean, poetic, I guess? This obviously isn't a good situation at all, but I mean, if they can be happy, you know, I mean, it's not the healthiest relationship, but I could see them making it work with a lot of time and effort. He certainly seems like he's willing to do what it takes, so I don't know. This is weird, okay? The truth was, no one has ever treated me like this. Yeah, I see. Mr. Buchanan and Mom wanted nothing to do with me. Dad was a good dad, but I got only one quality day per week with him at most, and barely saw him the rest of the time. Ivy was a good friend, but she had her art, her boyfriend, as well as her other obligations. Like with Dad, I had to share her with everyone else. Before Osgood, there really was no one. I can't give in. I have to do something about it before it was too late. Too late? Too late for what? Before you fall for him or something? Stockholm Syndrome? Or before he kills you or something. When I got out of the shower, Osgood was curled up in the corner of the room reading a thick book titled Crime Scene, The Ultimate Investigation Handbook. Odd choice, but alright. The one in his lap was titled 7 Important Foundations of a Relationship. What? Okay.
Osgood, can you help me dry my hair?
His books dropped to the floor in a thud. I waited patiently for him as he scrambled to pick it up. Eventually, he walked over and got to work. Oh my god, he's... Ah, why? Why is he so endearing? God, I would be terrible in this situation. You know, I'd... The second he does something nice, I'd just be like...
Thank you! Thank you, sir! I love
you! Jesus. Yeah. His fingers brushed across my ears momentarily as he clumsily towel-dried my hair.
Osgood, do you want to go on a date with me?
The towel slipped from my hair to the ground, and I heard the sound of Osgood fumbling to catch it.
Is that a no?
No, I'm just surprised. You weren't exactly eager to do anything with me before. I laughed and turned around to face him.
Last time I checked, you were the one who blew off our date. Anyways, now's our chance. Do you want to do it or not?
After some discussion, we settled on watching a movie on his laptop. When he asked me to pick a movie, I chose Ghost of the Opera. It's Phantom of the Opera, okay. Just to see how he would react. To my surprise, he agreed and promptly proceeded to pirate the movie without even reading a review. It says here that the movie will take an hour to download.
In that case, why don't you take me around on a tour of the house?
His eyes immediately flitted to the chains still surrounding my ankles. Some time ago, he had discovered that my skin was blistering and lined the insides of the shackles with soft fabric. I responded by calling him a hypocrite. But... Wait. Responded by calling him a hypocrite? I don't understand. Okay.
Look, I'll be under your watch the entire time. It's not like I can run away with you here. If it really bothers you, you can even choose only to detach the side of the chain attached to the wall. Though I have to say, pet play is a terrible idea for a first date.
Oh, damn. Osgood didn't say anything. I played with the strand of my hair and waited for him to make a decision. Eventually, he shuffled to the wall and unlocked the chain. After a moment of hesitation, he walked over to me, knelt down, and unlocked my shackles. At the same time, Osgood's hands immediately grasped mine, his long pianist fingers forming a bony cage around my own. I intertwined my fingers with his and held up our hands.
This is how you properly hold hands without crushing my fingers.
He turned his face away from me and lowered his head, causing his bangs to drape over his eyes. I swung his hand back and forth and smiled again.
Ooh, is that wine?
Osgood was still holding my hand. I tapped the glass display with my stump. Oh, right. And pressed my face close to look inside. 3 bottles of vintage wine rested behind the dust-covered glass.
I didn't know you guys drink wine.
Bancroft likes to have a couple of bottles and display at every place. He says it makes the house look cultured and provides a good conversation opener. Milton is the one who actually drinks them. Oh. I see.
Do you drink yourself?
Not really. Bancroft and Milton told me to wait until I became older.
And you are older now. Let's drink it while we watch the movie. It will make everything more fun.
I remember reading somewhere that we can't legally drink in this country.
You eat humans and are currently keeping me captive in your house. A bit too late to care about legality, isn't it? Wait, are you eating properly these days? Oh, you are eating properly these days, aren't you? I don't want you eating my remaining hand while you're drunk.
I'm not hungry.
Perfect, then it's decided. Bring out the wine.
This seems like a bad idea. After the movie was downloaded, we brought the laptop down to the dining room table, lit some candles, got out 2 glasses and 2 bottles of wine, and sat down.
So the rule is that whenever someone starts belting out a song, we have to take a drink.
Oh boy. Osgood peered at his glass as if he does not quite understand how he ended up in this situation. After a while, he slowly poured himself a drink and took a sip.
Well, how's your first taste of alcohol?
I don't understand why Milton likes this.
You'll understand after 3 more glasses.
Osgood still stared quizzically at the bottle. I took the bottle from him and poured myself a glass as well.
Well, let's start, shall we? Remember, you have to take a nice long drink whenever anyone starts singing.
I held my glass out to him.
A toast to your first experience with alcohol.
Oh, hi, Comfy. Oh, thanks for the raid. Hold on, let me give you a shout out. Alcohol. I summoned you, it seems. You were just drinking? Oh, okay. Typical. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. There you go. Alright, everyone. If you haven't already, go ahead and give Comfy a follow. Welcome, Raiders. You sorry. I can't lie. But yeah, welcome, Raiders. My name is Luney. I am a plague doctor turned psychopomp. So now instead of trying to find cures to diseases, I guide souls to wherever they belong. So yeah, and on the side I play video games, mostly visual novels or RPGs or horror games. Yeah, I think visual novels and horror games are my favorites, but I've been really enjoying games like Ender Lilies so far lately. But yeah, and right now we're playing a game that I will warn you right now has a lot of trigger warnings. So if you have any sensitivity to gore, abuse, sexual themes, or dubious consent, please feel free to click away. No one will fault you. And yeah, and Comfy, I don't know how long you've been streaming for a few hours now, so probably you can probably go grab a drink or food or something. I won't mind. But oh, good to see you all.
A toast to your first experience with alcohol.
Under my encouraging gaze, he carefully clinked his glass against mine and took another sip.
Christine is singing. Drink. Not sip, I said drink. There we go.
Hi, Mooney, I gotta go eat, but I have a wonderful stream. Oh, thank you, North. You have a good eep. And, yeah. Take care of yourself. Thanks for stopping by.
And here comes the famous duet. You know what that means. Chug, chug, chug.
All the time Osgood was drinking, I drank too. But while I made sure Osgood was actually consuming alcohol, I let some of the wine dribble down my chin and blend in with the mahogany table. I also sloshed some of the wine around my mouth before allowing it to flow back into the glass. Ooh, sneaky. It's so good to see you stream today. Oh, thank you, Comfy. Yeah, it's good to see a little bit of your stream. I stopped in and lurked for a little bit, but yeah. Considering I took a long nap, I didn't have much time. But I saw you killing zombies. I also slashed some of the wine around my mouth before allowing it to glass. As a result, by the time I finished one glass, Osgood was already on his third. By the fifth glass, he was softly singing along to some of the songs, long bony fingers tapping across the table. Are you ready, Coffee? Are you going to Uncendium tomorrow? Are you going to be there? Be there or be square, as they say. After almost 2 hours of chandeliers glittering in ambient light. Oh, okay. Dramatic confessions of love and revenge by a half-masked man with lots and lots of singing. It's finally become a real streamer. Yeah. We finally reached the end of the movie. Even though it was the credits scene, Osgood was still humming the theme softly to himself.
Did you like the movie?
The songs were nice, but I don't like the story. It's sad. His tone was petulant like a child. I had never seen Osgood like this before. When I spoke, my voice was surprisingly gentle.
And why didn't you like the story?
He gestured his hand toward the screen and looked at me again, expecting me to understand. Call me Minecraft, because unfortunately I won't be there. I'll be at a friend's wedding. Aww. Well, those are very important, so I hope you have a great time tomorrow then. Sorry you can't make it, but it's all right. We'll miss you, but it's fine. Hopefully we'll get to catch you next time. When he realized I couldn't read his mind telepathically, he looked disappointed. Aw. The ghost and Christine Day didn't end up together. He just let her go.
And you don't like the part where he let her go?
No. No, I don't. I wonder why.
Of course you don't. Didn't know what I was expecting.
Do you identify with the ghost? Do you think I'm like Christine Day? I kind of want to ask both. Let's see. Do you identify with the ghost? Not particularly. He was inefficient. What an answer. He should have just made sure Christine never left the first time you kidnapped her. Of course you would say that. He also talks too much. Yeah, he's very different from you. That's enough small hold on. I gotta load that up again because I gotta see. Do you think I'm like Christine Day? No. You have more of a mean streak. That's true. We are a little bit meaner.
Wow. Thanks for the compliment.
To my surprise, he laughed, a deep sound that reverberated through the entire hall. It's okay. I like your meanness. Oh, I fucking knew it. He's a sadist. Or, yeah. Wait, no. Masochist. He's a masochist. It gives you a certain vitality.
What the fuck does that mean?
You see, even Camille's like, I don't know about that, guys. That's enough small talk. It's time. I walked over to Osgood and promptly sat in his lap. Oh, show boy. Okay. He immediately wrapped his arms around me and buried his head in my chest. Heat radiating through the clothing, I gently yanked a handful of his hair back to tilt his face up.
Osgood, do you love me?
I'm sure he believes that. Oh, okay. Or he doesn't know. Yeah. I don't know anything. There was a hint of a whimper in his voice. Alarmed and not wanting him to become upset, I quickly pushed his head back towards my chest and started stroking his hair. He rubbed his face into me like a large animal, softly huffing and panting. We stayed like this for some time until his breathing calmed down again.
If you aren't sure about love, then do you like me?
Another pause, then he said something muffled that sounded like yes. Now it was my turn to sigh.
You don't like me, Osgood. Guys don't keep the girls they like locked up in their house.
Osgood looked up at me, his usually clear blue eyes hazy. But if I don't do that, you will run away. Yandere logic. I mean...
How do you know I will run away if you haven't even tried?
I'm better at singing, you know. I blinked, confused at his non sequitur. Yeah, what? My guy, what was that? He responded by disentangling himself from me, grabbing... Excuse you, Missy. Who said you could meow? He responded by disentangling himself from me, grabbing my hand and leading me out of the dining room. Minutes later, we were in the music room. Temporarily letting go of my hand, he dragged me up spare chair. He dragged a spare chair in front of the baby grand piano and gestured to me to come over and sit. Once I sat down, he went to the grand piano himself and started playing. He stumbled for the first chord or so, but slowly found his footing. Eventually, I realized that he was playing the theme from the movie. Oh, wow. He's very talented. As if that was not impressive enough, he started singing along. His voice was clearer and richer than the movie actor's voice, lending an ethereal quality to the originally passionate melody. In his voice, it was a siren song, less fierce but more mesmerizing. It beckoned towards me, slowly swallowing me in its tide. It took me several minutes to realize that Osgood had stopped playing. How was I? Or how was it? I let out a nervous laugh and smoothed my hair.
Scarily good.
Better than the original singing in the movie.
Better than the original.
At my comment, an innocent smile lit up his face, and he quickly launched into another song. But this time the melody was unfamiliar, slow, and melancholy. He sang along softly in a language that I didn't know, his voice soothing like a lullaby. It lacked the mesmerizing quality of the previous song, but the sheer sweetness of the music somehow stuck with me. When he finished, he looked expectantly at me again. Did you like it?
Yes. Did it also come from a movie?
No, I wrote it. He got out from behind the piano and started singing the song again. Even though I had purposely averted my eyes from his, I could feel his eyes on me. By the time he had ended this song, he was kneeling in front of me. Oh boy. I want my fucking hand back, Edward. I want my fucking hand back. Can I pop it up? Both of his hands were on mine. Under the dim light, his face was flushed and uncertain. You said you won't run away. You weren't lying, right? Yes. My eyes avoided his face as I nodded. Jesus. He said he wrote this song, but it's actually just a piano cover of Real Slim Shady. That's a good one. I would listen to that cover all day, every day. Yeah, you could riz me with that. My eyes avoided his face as I nodded. He broke into an ugly alien wide grin that allowed me to see all of his pointy teeth. Oh, to my horror, my chest began to hurt. Oh, you're feeling sorry, huh? Okay. I trust you then. Noted. With that, his head dropped into my lap. Within seconds, he was asleep. Aw, sleepy baby. Wait, no. No. No.
I don't feel anything for you.
The words sounded weak and unconvincing even to myself. Osgood kept on sleeping. I said the words again for good measure. My voice cracked. Fuck. Yeah. Goodbye, other hand. Fuck. Yeah. Giving up, I hugged Osgood's head toward me, cradling it in my lap as I allowed myself a moment of weakness. I carefully pushed him off me and left the room. It really would have been better if we had never met. Chapter 4. Oh. Did we get away? The first thing I did was try and log on to Osgood's computer. Oh, I see. Okay, we're working on it. We're working on it. We're cooking, guys. We're cooking. I wanted to send a message to Ivy or to Mr. Buchanan to explain my situation. Hold on. I need a sip of my tea. Briefly considering shooting an email to the police as well, but eventually decided against it. Unfortunately, the computer was protected. After several failed password attempts, I was locked out of the system. The only thing I could access was the time and date. 2:30 a.m., August 23rd. I had been trapped in Osgood's place for over 2 months. Oh. It certainly feels much longer than that. Yeah. Unfortunately, Osgood had kept the front door locked from the inside, and after several tugs, I realized I was not going to get it open. But I did find a window in one of the spare rooms that was not barred shut. The only problem is that it's located on the 2nd floor. That's not so bad. Oh, well, wait, no, but these big houses usually have, like, tall ceilings, so... So here I am, perched on the edge of the windowsill, trying to gauge the distance between me and the ground and whether I could successfully land on the bush to cushion the fall. Broken legs and fractured hips were probably the worst outcomes, but even that would put my half-baked plan to a halt. Maybe you should just go back and pretend nothing had ever happened. You'll probably never find another guy who bought you a carpet because he worried. Camille? Oh, okay. I think we're gonna run now. The sound of his voice hit me like a bucket of cold water. I lost my balance and careened out of the window. Oh! A dozen of tiny pain blossomed all over my body as I struggled to get up from the bush, but nothing seemed to be broken. It's still not too late. You could say that you were looking for a bit of fresh air and just happened to fall out of the... Camille, where are you? I ran. Oh, God. 15 minutes in, I realized that I made 3 mistakes. Oh, great. The first mistake was leaving without shoes. Yeah. 2 months walking around bare feet had made me forget that going outside without a pair of shoes was a death wish. I don't know about a death wish, but, yeah. Running in the woods was even worse. I had already stepped on something sharp in the dark. Oh. Due to my lack of supplies, the wound is most likely to be infected. Hopefully the infection would settle after I get out of the woods. And that was the second mistake, going into the woods at night without so much as a flashlight. Navigating the place had required a GPS in broad daylight. To be fair, though, if we had a flashlight, I feel like that would just make us easier to find. So, yeah. In the dark, it was virtually impossible to know where I was going. Luckily it's summer now, or I would have froze to death. As I swatted away branches and mosquitoes, Osgood's voice kept replaying in the back of my head in the worst way possible. And that was the last mistake before I left. I should have made sure that he would be immobile. Tied him up somehow. Then I would have more of a head start to run away, even if it was only an extra 5 minutes. My stupidity is really going to get me. Camille, where are you? Oh, Jesus. Okay. Now we're running. It was a whisper, the sound of bones rattling in the summer air. Only bones did not whisper my name like a scream. Camille, where are you? I ran. Right. Oops. Oh, shit. Hold on. Fuck. I fucked up. In my haste, I accidentally pressed I right-clicked. I didn't mean to right-click. No. In my haste, a branch swatted my eye directly as stars erupted, and I kept on running. Oh, God. Faster if I change my direction and run faster. Camille! Left. Help! Somebody help! There must be other people living here. Even though the summer houses are located miles apart from each other, I refuse to believe. Stop shouting, Camille! My lungs feel like they were about to burst in my chest. My muscles are screaming in pain. Can't stop. Must keep going. Can't stop. Stop hurting yourself. Left. I could hear him. I could smell him. Oh God, he's getting so close. Stop running, Camille. No. Then I see it, a dim opening in the tangle of trees and vines. A small hope. Okay, hold on. I think we did it. Somehow. A small hope swelled in my chest as I picked up speed and charged towards it. Only to find myself standing on the edge of a cliff. Oh. Just fly. Just turn into a bird and fly away like me. Come on. Can't be that hard. The warm summer wind did nothing to the chill creeping through my spine as I looked frantically for anywhere to go. Stop running, Camille! The sound wasn't even remotely human, but I instinctively turned my head towards him. Oh, I do a flip. And I voluntarily leapt with this thing. Oh, yeah. I mean, a nervous giggle escaped from me as my knees started to tremble. And you think this is funny? His tail whipped across the trunk of a tree and sent it flying over the cliff. Oh, wow. My eardrums screamed, and I found myself cowering as I took a step back. You said you would stay! He rammed his claws into the rocks 3 steps away from me. I covered my mouth to stop my scream. I trusted you! His fangs were right next to my face. His breath was nauseatingly sweet. It's not too late to beg for forgiveness, grovel and cry until his anger blows out over so you can hatch another escape plan. Don't ignore me, Camille! Oh, jeez. Okay. Yeah. But lashing out, I don't know. Maybe it'll get us what we want at least. Maybe it'll finally put us out of our misery. As dark as that is, terror mixed with anger exploded within me, and I found myself staring him down. Don't make me laugh. At best, I'm a pet that you took a liking to. At worst, food. And no amount of kissing, songs, movies, and little favors is going to change that. I struggled up from the ground and sneered. And guess what? No sane man would bone their pet. Oh. Yeesh. You make me sick to my core. The words came out of my mouth in a torrent, and I felt oddly triumphant before what I said started settling in. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. GG, guys. GG. Terror and regret started to drag me back to reality, but I willed myself to keep looking into his empty eye sockets. If I was going to die for my stupidity, I might as well do it with dignity. But then Osgood starts laughing, the sound of wind chimes swaying in the air. If I'm sick, then what are you? Have you wondered why no one has ever questioned where you went? Whoa. Ouch. Not even your little dark-haired friend that you always had by your side. I wondered myself, so I went and did a little investigation, and do you know what I found? She went on a trip with her boyfriend. You are missing, and she decides to take a trip with her boyfriend. Isn't that funny? I opened my mouth to tell him to shut up, but no words came out. He kept talking, his voice hauntingly pleasant. And your parents, where are they? Why haven't they started looking for their child? And then I realized they must be dead, or they must not have cared. Shut up. Admit it, Camille, nobody cares about you. Damn. Ouch. Osgood is right. What's the point? There really is no one waiting for me in this world. Why am I even trying? Hello. I'm sorry, but I wanted to make sure you understood. Unlike the others, I care about you. All right, okay. And no matter how many times you lie, hurt me, or run away, I will always forgive you. This is not... Yeah, this is a super healthy relationship, guys. Yeah, absolutely. Why he got nipples angled like an alien wearing shirt. I don't know. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Okay. Would it really be so bad to choose me? To choose you over what? What other options are there? What other options do you give us? It's not a choice, dude. Let's go back then. We need to treat your wounds. He grabbed my hand and started leading me away. Even in the summer heat, it felt warm. But then I jerked him back towards me, wrapping my arms around his neck to pull him down. Then I bit down on his lips with all my hate. Oh my lord, what the My canines dug into his bottom lip so hard that it drew blood. It caught him up by surprise, and I took this opportunity to shake off his hand and run for the cliff. My entire body felt light as I leaped off the precipice. Oh. As I plummet down, I could hear him desperately screaming my name, a guttural wailing sound that is slowly drowned out by the sound of wind whistling past me. Imagining his face, I found myself laughing gleefully with triumphant malice. Ooh. Yeah, that's how you get a cursed mountain, or a cursed hill. Or maybe I was crying. It doesn't matter. In the end, I won. Or maybe we both lost. The wind is making my face feel dry, and I lick my lips. His blood tastes like syrup. Okay. Ending 7 till death do us part. Do us apart. I don't know if that's what they intended, but yeah. Okay. Hold on. Did I fail the quick time events? Okay, let's see what happens if we fail. Where are you? I ran. In my haste, a branch swatted me directly in the eyes, stars erupted, and I kept on running. Faster if I change my direction and run faster. Nah. I tripped over a log and fell to the ground, scraping my hand in the process. Ow. I scrambled back up as quickly as I could and kept going. Help! Somebody help! There must be other people living here. Even though the summer houses are located miles apart from each other, I refuse to believe. Stop shouting, Camille. Something snagged on my dress and I heard it rip, but I kept on going. My lungs feel like they are about to burst in my chest. My muscles are screaming in pain. Can't stop. Must keep going. Can't stop. Stop hurting yourself. Nope. Everything hurts. Everything burns. I could hear him. I could smell him. Oh god, he's getting so close. Stop running, Camille. Nah. Ooh, what happened? Got you. Oh. Well, there's that ending. Alright. Let's load. Let's confess our terror. Stop yelling at me! Everything is wrong. Everything is wrong enough without you yelling at me! I meant for it to be a scream, but it came out more like a wail instead. You want to know why I lied? Why I ran away? Because you were terrifying! Absolutely terrifying. The sun is rising now, dyeing the sky in a dark orange hue. Hurting and itching everywhere, I slid to the ground and drew my knees to my chest, hiding my face so I wouldn't have to look at him. You aren't human. You literally ate my hand. You know why I have been treating you like crap? It's so I don't curl up into a trembling ball of terror like I am now. I'm basically begging you to kill me so I don't have to live every day in uncertainty. My voice was punctuated with wheezing, and I had to take a moment to catch my breath. After a while, Osgood spoke again. It was subdued and human, with none of its earlier unnatural qualities. But I don't want you dead. And that's what makes it terrifying. Why are you trying so hard to please me? Why can't you just kill me and be done with it? Because we are going to be together. Creepy. His matter-of-fact voice was the last straw. I hurled myself at Osgood while screaming like a banshee. He didn't even move an inch. Why did you sing me that stupid song? It's all your fault. I was supposed to fall for some normal human scum. Not you. Why did I say that? Feeling tired and defeated, I abruptly turned away from him, went to the edge of the cliff, and sat down. The sun was fully out now, and I could hear the birds chirping in the distance. After a while, I felt Osgood crouching down beside me, close but not touching, with the faintest scent of candy. We sat there for a while looking at the morning sky in silence. I'm sorry for not being human. I didn't know what to say to that, so I said nothing. I'm sorry for not being what you had in mind and for making things hard for you. I mean, it's not really his fault, but I appreciate it, I guess, nonetheless. You aren't going to let me go, are you? No. I looked down. He had gripped my hand in his. Would it really be so bad to just stop fighting so much and make the best of this situation? I mean, it depends how you look at it, really. A warm breeze washed over us both as I stared numbly into the sky. He likes me as much as his lizard brain is capable. His lizard brain. And I don't hate him. And I'm just so exhausted. I just want to take the easy path and not fight anymore. Yeah, that's fair. Well, that's that. I put up my best struggle, gave it my best shot. No point in continuing to beat myself up over something that's not going to change anytime soon. I rubbed my eyes again and turned my head to look at Osgood. If you put me in chains again, one of us will have to die. And if you run away again, I will eat your legs. Okay, that seems fair. Not the most romantic promise, but this will have to do for now. Oh, geez, so much compromise.
Deal.
I stood on my tiptoes to kiss him on the nose. But why are you being so cute? Stop it. That almost made him lose his balance and send both of us over the edge. Ooh. Secret ending, guys. We both die. When we get back to the house, Osgood had me sit on the dining room chair as he disinfected the wounds on my feet. I peeked at the medical kit to find that there really were several boxes of tampons in it.
Your brother is really weird for having that in his medical kit.
This is probably the least worrying thing about him. His matter-of-fact tone made me snort, and I let him continue with what he was doing. We should leave this place tomorrow. I blinked. Where? He carefully plastered a final band-aid on my knee before looking up at me. His fingers were still cradling the sole of my feet. Surveillance and security in this country are a bit tighter than my home country. The supply of people in neighboring towns who can go missing without anyone noticing is dwindling. I could fast for a while, but I don't want to risk hurting you due to hunger again. The best course of action is to move every now and then for now. In the long run, we should move to a country where there are plenty of fresh bodies available, preferably somewhere constantly embroiled in civil war. We need to go and pick up your ID and your passport before we go. I was starting to feel sick, but from what? The fact that I forgot that he was still an active serial killer? Or the fact that I'm going to be living in a war zone in the future?
What about school?
You can resume your education once I settle Bancroft and Milton's affairs. Unfortunately, I do not know how long that would take.
Right.
Monsters don't need an education. Education is only valuable when you live in a normal society. And apparently, my future lies in being a monster bride in some third world country. Watch this. He took out something from his pocket, a golden chocolate wrapper. After smoothing out the edges on the table, his fingers quickly folded and twisted it into a crane. It looked incredibly tiny in his large hands. Oh. For you. Oh. He really isn't playing fair. Yeah, what the fuck? Oh, my heart. My kokoro. I placed the crane on the table and reached my arms out towards him.
Get up. I want a hug, and I can't reach you in this position.
Camille, What the? Freeze! This is the... What? What just happened? So much happened that my mind temporarily stopped processing. People had barged in the room. Based on how they acted, they were probably the police. Only the police did not barge into people's houses fully dressed in military gear and carrying weapons looking like a grenade launcher. Based on the fact that I am now in a heap of rubble, they fired it. Based on the fact that bodies are lying around me, Osgood killed them. I stared at the large rib cage covering my body like a small bony tent, blocking the rubble that still occasionally fell from the half-intact ceiling. The sound of wind chimes was shrill in the air. Cement, ruin, blood, and corpses lay all around me. FBI, get down on the ground. Yeah, seriously. What? I reached out a trembling hand to touch the bone.
Osgood?
And then he exploded? Bones flew in 100 different directions like translucent shrapnel dripped in pink paint. His humanoid body dropped to the floor, but he was everywhere at once. Ew. Crawling toward me across the rubble. Stuck on my face. Tangled in my hair. Ew. Everything was pink. Why was everything pink? Camille. Why are you so far away? I scrambled over with both hands and feet to cradle him in my arms. He was missing the lower half of his body, but his expression softened when I held him closer. Why were his eyes clouding over? He shouldn't talk. Pink was dripping out of his mouth like a leaking car, seconds away from bursting into flames. But even when I frantically tried to stop the bleeding, he still kept talking. Sorry. Shh, don't apologize. Are you okay? I'm fine. We're both fine. Where are you? I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Camille? I answered him, but he didn't respond. The familiar heat gradually died away, and I was left with a heavy marble bust in my lap. I don't know what to do, so I carry him to a place where debris won't fall on us and just held on. Several months later. Okay. Agent Johnson. And we're all set. No problem. It must be so hard for you to go through such an ordeal, but you were dealing with it remarkably well. Not many young girls your age are as resilient as you are. His tones strove to convey the right degree of kindness, but it was stretched thin in real empathy. I plaster a smile on my face and hope that it will shut him up. Thank you. Agent Johnson seemed satisfied and patted my head. You're a senior already, aren't you? Have you thought about which school you're going to go to yet? I lowered my head and started picking my nails. In that case, you should consider our training program. We are always in need of fresh blood, and with your record of surviving cohabitation with a Wendigo for more than 2 months, you would be perfect for the program. He's a Wendigo! I see. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Let me get you a pamphlet. With that, he left the room. As soon as I hear his footsteps fade away, I reached over and flipped over the cream-colored folder that was on his desk. Report. Blah, 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 blah. Agent named Carol Johnson. Wait, is that... whatever. Paranormal number 154B, Wendigo Aberration Class B. Crimes, hunting without a pass, kidnapping, second-degree murder, failure to register. Date. Oh. Case description. For an unregistered Wendigo without a pass was spotted hunting Class H civilians on Class H civilians? Further investigation reveals the foreign unregistered to be the source of a rapidly depleting stock of Class H civilians around the XXX area and is linked to the disappearance of Camille Dubois, Class D civilian, ward of Charles Buchanan, Class C civilian. Approval to neutralize has been granted. Oh. Task Force B345 was dispatched to handle the case. The mission was a failure and resulted in the total annihilation of B345 and visible destruction of the property. The only survivor was Camille Dubois, Class D civilian. Cleanup support is required. Oh, wow. Later investigations confirmed the foreign unregistered to be Osgood McCobb, younger brother of Bancroft McCobb, Wendigo aberration, money laundering, drug trafficking, arms dealing, failure to register, report, blah, 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 blah. And Milton Macabre. Wendigo aberration, first degree murder, kidnapping, physical assault, failure to register, report, blah, 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 blah. Camille Dubois is missing her left hand and forearm and shows early signs of muscle atrophy, but is otherwise healthy. While she initially refused to surrender the remains of Osgood Macabre, she was cooperative with questioning, and her mental evaluation results are within normal range. She completed the rehabilitation program and a non-disclosure agreement was signed. Further information extraction is unneeded. Future recruitment is considered. Memory redaction is unneeded. Memory redaction? What the fuck? Is this like the Men in Black? What the what is going on? Signed, Carol Johnson. Behind the papers was a series of photographs. It took me a while to realize that the girl hugging the pink-stained corpse was me. But when I heard Agent Johnson's footsteps closing and I instinctively shoved that photo down my pocket while pushing the file folder back to its original place. Here's the pamphlet. Here's the pamphlet. Do give it some thought, will you?
Thanks, I will.
Wonderful. I'll see you again for our next appointment then. Have a nice day, Camille. As I was finding my way out, I passed by the patient ward. Humans who survived close encounters with monsters were usually treated there first. During my time there, I had to share a room with a girl who had half of her face torn off and replaced with writhing plants. What the... Her whimpers and the sound of leaves grinding against each other bothered me, and I was glad that I only spent 3 days there before being discharged for questioning. I know I should feel sympathy for the poor girl, but I feel nothing. As I passed by the glass doors of the patient rooms, a cursory glance into one of them stopped me in my tracks. Is that Ivy? Next thing I knew, I was already in the room. Ivy did not notice me and continued to stare at the desk. There was a stack of paper and some colored pencils scattered around. Several crumpled pieces of paper lay in the wastebasket. Normally, I would have launched into a stream of small talk to diffuse the heaviness of the situation. This time, I remained silent and we stared into oblivion together. After an undefined amount of time, she finally spoke. I'm sorry for being like this. I'm just... She trailed off.
It's fine. I'm just glad that you're alive. Do you need some space?
No, it's fine. I'm glad you're okay too. In the end, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't fix anything. Her entire body shook as she rocked back and forth. I had never seen Ivy like this before. Usually I was the one crying and she was the one comforting me. I reached over to put an arm around her, feeling her body tremble against mine as she cursed herself over and over again for not being able to fix things. Sorry, I don't know why I can't hold myself together. It's fine, it's about time I returned the favor. She manages a small grin this time, but then her eyes widened and turned in more serious. What happened to your hand? I laughed brusquely and ran my hand across my stump. The photo in my pocket suddenly felt heavy.
I fell.
Ha ha, very funny. I gave Ivy's shoulders a quick squeeze.
Get better soon. We'll catch up later, okay?
You fell. Yeah, you fell right into the jaws of a monster bone boy. Wait, this is the monster survivor's ward? Yes. What happened to Ivy? Yeah, it's not really clear what happened to Ivy. I think it's insinuated that it's connected to her trip to visit her boyfriend. So I'm guessing her boyfriend was a monster or was involved with monsters or something. I don't know. But the moment I left the vicinity of the building, I took the photo out of my pocket and held it under the sunlight. due to my haste to hide it. It now has several creases. The lighting makes it look more like an aesthetic avant-garde mashup than the picture of a crime scene. I rub my thumb across Osgood's face, trying to make it look more real. Why am I not crying over you like Ivy is crying over Joseph? Oh, I guess Joseph died. I don't know, lying about your monster-induced missing hand in the Monster Survivors Award seems weird. Yeah. I don't know why we did that. It's weird. Alrighty. The photo gave me no answer. I guess I must have really not cared that much about you deep down. Just pure self-preservation instincts. Still no reply. Of course, because he's dead. Suddenly angry, I tried to chuck the photo at the nearest garbage can. A summer breeze swept by and carried the picture away. Suddenly panicking, I found myself scrambling after it, ignoring traffic lights and almost running into innocent bystanders as I grasped at it with my desperate hands. Girl, you... Like, it'd be pretty obvious considering the place. Yeah. Wait! I'm sorry, come back! Eventually, I tripped and fell. When I got up, the photo was nowhere in sight. Fine! Be that way! My sudden outburst caused a bystander to jump and distance himself from me. I ignored them all and slumped toward the lamp post and closed my eyes to catch my breath. I truly am a fool. Desperate hand, yeah. Oh, did it say hands? I didn't even notice. That's funny. Camille? I whipped around to find a familiar-looking, timid girl looking at me as if I might bite her. It was the girl who handed me Osgood's chemistry notebook all those days ago. Camille, hi. Fancy seeing you here. She cleared her throat and handed something to me. You were looking for this, right? It was the photo. In addition to being creased, it now had a footprint on it as well. An unidentifiable stain-covered part of my hair. Osgood's nose was crumpled, but it was still there and in one piece. What a joke. So why am I crying? Ending 8. The end of summer fever. You have now unlocked ending 9. Go knock on Osgood's door again and maybe something different will happen. Oh, okay, so that's... Yeah, so that's the ending you have to get in order to, get the secret ending. Which we discovered first in our last stream, so... Yeah. What the hell? Oh my god. So that was ITYH, or Horror Otome. And I know it's kind of weird, but it's like one of my favorite visual novels. Wendigo, more like Wendigone. Alright.